Hello, my name is Edwin Edebury, and I am the Chief Happiness Officer with the I Am Happy Project and also the Happy Neighborhood Project. I want to say thank you for joining us this morning. This is our Happy Monday call, and I do this call to kind of keep Monday a jump start. You know, I've come across a lot of studies how people feel different ways on Monday morning and all the different statistics on that day. So here is a way to create a foundation of happiness for the whole week and maybe even for the rest of your life. Okay, that is the goal here. And if you have not joined us before, please tune into our YouTube channel. If you go to youtube.com/AskTheCHO. Again, that's youtube.com/AskTheCHO. That is ASK, T for Tom, HECHO, all one word, Ask the CHO, so you can catch on in the past. So today, folks, I want to talk about a topic that I ordinarily would stay away from, okay? Because, sometimes it might be controversial, and other times I just don't have the experience, to really talk about it and do justice to it. But at the same time, though, I feel like it's a topic that affects our level of happiness tremendously. Now, I'm going to be talking about your weight and happiness. That's right, your weight and happiness. And I was actually inspired, to do this topic today by my neighbor, if I would say, okay? This gentleman is in the same building. Some of you are familiar with our office. We're on a 25-story building in downtown Sacramento. We're on the 16th floor. So there's a lot of people in the building, no question about it. Now, one of the fantastic things that the building did is we have a gym on the second floor. So we take advantage of it. And I encourage a lot of people, whether they are on my floor, in my office or not, I encourage people to take advantage of the gym because it's convenient, it's a full gym, you have a shower and all those kind of good stuff, okay? Well, one of those episodes, I came across a young man, and that really gave me the encouragement for this call. So that's what we're going to talk about, your weight and happiness. Now, a little foundation here, folks. According to Gallup polls, 69% of Americans are obese. Folks, according to Gallup polls, 69% of Americans are obese. Now, I'm not sure about the definition of obese and all of those stuff, but that's what Gallup poll said. And at any given time, about 33% are trying to lose weight. Folks, I want this young man to shed some light into his own experience, and hopefully it would encourage folks who are listening to this now or who will listen to this later. Thomas White, welcome to my call.
Thank you.
Yes. Now, let's, we met at the gym. We've met even about almost a year ago, so I've actually monitored you. Some time ago on this call, I did a topic on compliments and happiness. Mm-hmm. And so I came to you last week, and I complimented you on your journey, yes or no?
Yes, you did.
Yes, because I've seen you transform right in front of my eyes. So tell us, July of last year, July 1, what was your weight?
My weight was about 275 pounds.
275 pounds. Okay, so let's cut through the chase. Right now, less than a year later, how much do you weigh?
I weigh 212 pounds.
Folks, listen to that. 275 to 212 pounds. Now, if you see Thomas, you will see the transformation, folks. I mean, ladies, if you see this guy before and after, you will be chasing after him all over. But he has a fiancé, so don't worry about that part, okay? So what happened? How did you get into this journey?
Well, I was the type of person who was always on a diet. I was always overweight, and it came to a point where my cousin was getting married in 3 months, and she was going on a cruise, and I wanted to look good for a cruise. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to lose weight. And it occurred to me, I just kind of had this moment where it was, I've been in this situation before many times, and I was always trying to lose weight, and I was always trying to lose a couple pounds for a wedding and so on and so forth, and I was very unsuccessful. So I just made the decision that I'm not going to. I was always thinking about losing weight, but not doing it. So I just made the decision to do it. I made the decision that I'm going to just do it, and I'm going to stop making excuses on why I shouldn't do it. I'm going to stop living that life where I was always negotiating with myself, saying, okay, well, one cookie isn't going to harm me. And I was just going to take the step, and start working at it and doing it, and just making sure that every day, every moment, I was doing something. It wasn't necessarily everything. I mean, there were ups and there were downs, and there were good times and bad times, and I was going to make the decision to forgive myself.
Thomas, let me interrupt you, though. I want people to get one point that you share with me that was very vital. What role did the mindset play? Because people think about losing weight, they think about the physical, okay? What role did the mindset play in your journey?
Mindset has to come first. Mindset is the first thing that I did, was I got myself in the right mindset. I started working on the head game first, is what I say. I started changing the way I talk to myself. I started focusing on how I thought about what I was doing. So instead of losing weight, I started focusing on becoming the healthier person that I wanted to be. So that's the role that mindset played. When people ask me, when people ask me,
now you also share with me, because of time, and I know, you also share with me the willpower. I want you to touch on that a little bit.
Willpower is a funny thing. Willpower, a lot of people have a misconception about willpower. They think that it's this like spiritual force that we have that just comes from within, and that's not true. Willpower is actually a part of the brain, and it's a part of the prefrontal cortex. It's also the same part of the brain that controls decision making. And so if you take care of your body and you take care of yourself in a certain way, you can have more willpower. And there's a lot of things that you can do to increase your willpower. One of the best things that you can do to increase your willpower is to exercise it like you would exercise a muscle. And one of the interesting things that I found out, that I was telling you, Edwin, that I found out last week, is that if you focus on disciplining any area of your life, you can have greater willpower. So even if you don't have willpower when it comes to food or exercise, if you can exercise willpower in another area, say brushing your teeth every day, and making that habit and using your discipline to set that habit, you're going to be more likely to be able to resist the cookie in the future, or be able to exercise and go to the gym in the future. So that's a very interesting thing, very interesting aspect of willpower.
Very easy, because I know that people who are not going through stuff, it's easy for them to talk about willpower, but when you're going through stuff, it's a whole different ball game. And I kind of learned from you that it may not even have anything to do with what you're trying to accomplish. Just develop that willpower and you grow that muscle. Now, here is the other thing. You've mentioned this also. People start and they stop, and they want to do it, but they never do it. What was the thing that kept you going? Because you've been on the journey now from about, give and take July 1 of 2016 to about June. That's almost a year journey that you've accomplished from 275 pounds to 212 pounds. What kept you in the game? Why didn't you quit this time around?
Well, I think the reason why I didn't quit was because it wasn't miserable for me, and it was something I enjoyed. And when you enjoy it, you're going to do it. And it goes back to the first question on the mindset. I was doing things that I liked doing and things that were good for me and beneficial to me. And when I started doing things that were beneficial to my body liked them more, and I wanted to do them more. It wasn't about cutting back on food, it was eating the best quality of food. And when I ate better quality of food, which tastes better, my body liked it better, and it's easier to do something you enjoy. So why didn't I quit was because I made it in such a way that I enjoyed doing it, and that's what I did. I enjoyed working out, so working out in a certain way. So I go and I work out in a way that I enjoy it. I go out, and I eat foods that I enjoy that are the most nutritious for me. I make sure that I get enough sleep at night because that puts me in a better mood, and it helps me. It helps me in every other aspect of my life. I make sure that I spend a couple minutes every day relaxing and meditating, and that's a big help. So
you didn't feel like you were torturing yourself, like what you will hear about a typical diet program. Excuse me. A diet is like, okay, I'm going to punish myself or something like that. You did not feel that at all. You set your mind in a way where it was rewarding that you changed a habit. You also listened to motivational stuff or podcasts. How did that work?
That worked very well. Learning about your psychology and how you can trick yourself into enjoying things more. I listen to more motivational stuff, which is a big help. There's so much good stuff out there that just immerse yourself, and I immerse myself into it. I listen to it in the car on the way to work and on the way home. It's a big help because it puts you in a positive mood, and it's just the real key is just taking care of your mind and taking care of your body and making sure that you're the healthiest mentally and physically. Focusing on mental first, and then the physical will follow, and then it's easy.
Well, I know that it sounds easy for you now because you've been in the journey, but there are people that are listening to you right now, and maybe they're going through the same situation like you were back in July of last year, or maybe they know people that are going through that, okay? I'm going to want for you to just give us, in the closing on this call, what would be the tip that you would give them? One thing that they can put to use like right away, that could help them. Now, as you think about that, I want to ask you my favorite question, okay? And which is, on a scale of 1 to 10, if you could look back to July 1 when you started last year and now, how happy are you?
I'm significantly more happy. Scale to 1 to 10, I would be an 8 or a 9. I'm right up there. Very happy.
Awesome. That's awesome. All right, so give us a tip. What can somebody thinking about it or somebody going through it, maybe they're not losing 50 pounds or they're not losing 70 pounds, but maybe they want to lose 10 pounds or 15 pounds, but they are thinking about it. They're looking at the mirror and not liking what they are seeing. Maybe they don't like the way people are staring at them, or they don't like the way they're fitting into clothes. All the things that affect our level of happiness. If you want to give somebody one tip that they could put to use like right away, what would that be?
I would say take a couple minutes every day, 10, 15 minutes if you can, and relax and meditate and focus on yourself. Mindfulness was probably the first thing that I practiced, and it is one of the most beneficial things that I can do. And there's a million things on mindfulness out there. But I would say really make a conscious effort if you have 10 to 15 minutes to just be mindful.
That is awesome. Thomas White, I want to say thank you very much for coming here. Again, you were a transformation right in front of me, and I saw you diligently, in the locker room, you'll be sweating, and that you never gave up. So I'm just proud of you, for what you did, and just continue on that journey. Ladies and gentlemen, you're hearing from Thomas White. About a year ago, it was 275 pounds. Today it's about 212. Definitely healthier, happier, and if this help you, look into our, YouTube channel. You can pick other topics that we've done. We are youtube.com/Ask the CHO. Again, that is ASK. T for Tom, HE, and then CHO, all one word. And you can follow what we've done in the past. Just a little thing that I want to leave. I call this the ADP. And this almost work with anything that you do, anything. ADT, okay? This is what I call it, folks. Wherever you are right now, take action, okay? Because if you don't do anything, nothing is going to change, and in some cases, it might get worse, okay? So start with action. Take action, and then follow with discipline. Folks, you got to really discipline your mind. Like you say now, work on that willpower muscle so that you can get better every day. And then, folks, I cannot overemphasize this last one. You have to be patient. Okay, whatever you're in did not happen overnight, and you cannot expect results overnight either. Be patient. If somebody just get up and go walk 10 minutes a day, and they were not walking 10 minutes a day before, I'm telling you, if you walk 10 minutes a day extra, for a year, you are going to lose weight. There is no if, ands, or buts about it. So just be patient with yourself, and you will be happy just like Thomas is. Thomas, I want to say thank you again very much for joining us this morning. All right, folks.
Thank you.
That's what we've got as part of our tradition. We wish each other happiness. So let's close, and I'm going to count to 2, and we all should say Happy Monday. So 1, 2.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Yay.
Happy Monday.
All right, you guys, stay happy.